Hello traders, Day Trader Matt here, a businesswithtrading.com, doing a trading strategy recap for Tuesday the 9th of June. And today was really turning point Tuesday. Today was, we consider it a loss. We ended up with plus quarter point on the day, and we're 1 for 1 with two trades. The market opened right here. It's pretty choppy. It did come lower and got choppy. Then it came higher and got choppy. It was one of those things. But on a day like today, you look at it and, you could have kind of gone either way. Some people would have gotten chopped to death in this. Some people would have waited. Us, we took a loss and then we turned it into, one tick profit on the day. So, that's basically what we did. Not a bad day, all in all. We really didn't lose any money, but, I kind of consider it a loss. That's how I would view it. And it's something, you look at and you journal about and you learn from. That's what life is all about. We make mistakes. When I was a little kid, my mom says, don't put your hand on the burner. So I'm, the curious kid that I was, my hand goes on the burner. And then I'm like, why'd you let me put my hand on the burner? And she's like, I told you not to. So I learned, don't put your hand on a burner. Make sure that it's not hot first. That's a good lesson to learn. Especially when you're a little kid. I don't remember how old I was, but I was old enough to be sitting on the counter, so obviously I probably could not walk at the time, or since I was talking, maybe I was walking a little bit, but I wasn't really great at it. Most likely so I was really, really young. But anyway, let's get on with what we actually did today, and we'll, talk about some lessons we could take from it. So anyway, market opened right here, chopped around, chop, and then it came lower, chopped around some more, and as it bounced up, we were looking for a long, which obviously was, in hindsight's always 20/20. So you look at it, you're like, oh, bad move. It looked good at first, and then it started to get weaker and weaker, and started looking very bad. We got stopped out, and then price did go a little bit lower, and we kind of just kept an eye on it, watched it. Price ended up moving up. We tried to get long. Actually, when price moved up right here, it moved up and then it came back down, and we tried to get long, but price didn't come down far enough for us to get long, so we missed that trade. Price comes up, and then as it comes down, we get long right up here, and we were able to take profit on this move up. Price ended up coming a little bit higher, and then it rolled over and started to chop lower. And that's one of the things that is going to happen if you trade for a long period of time. You're going to miss a trade. That's what I really wanted to talk about today. That's an important lesson. We tried to get long here, and what a lot of newer traders would do, because I've worked with a lot of them, not all of them obviously, so I don't know this to be 100%, but we've talked about before, nothing is 100%. And I believe this, nothing at all is 100%. I guess if you're doing a mathematical equation, math is pretty objective. But when you're doing things, setting goals, or driving a car, nothing's 100%. Everything's kind of like a guideline. Some of them are rule-based guidelines, but you get my point. But anyway, we tried to get long down here. We missed it. Look where price went to. A lot of new traders look at that, and they dislike missing a trade like that more than they dislike getting stopped out right here. That's just how it works. That's how the brain works. And that's why I always say mindset is so important. And I'm not here to say, I'm the best mindset coach out there. I've worked with people who haven't been able to achieve results with certain other people out there. But, it is what it is. Everybody's different. Everyone learns differently. Everybody focuses on things a little bit differently. And that's what makes the world an awesome place. But at the same hand, that's what makes trading an awesome endeavor. It makes it a great business. Because everyone's different. Everybody approaches it differently. So, missing this trade, it doesn't really mean much to me because I look at everything in the grand scheme. How am I doing this month? Because day to day, who really gives a shit? Because you're going to miss some trades, you're going to have some unsuccessful trades, and you're going to have some successful trades. And we've already talked about nothing is 100%. So, thinking that you're going to make money every single day and not lose anything makes no sense. There's no way you can make money every single day. And nobody in the trading industry does that. If they tell you that, you should probably run because they're full of shit. It's like an analogy we used many weeks ago about the car salesman. You have some used car salesmen that are very upstanding people. And then you have some that are just scumbags. They'll sell you a car without doing proper maintenance on it. You get halfway down the road and all of a sudden your brakes don't work. You're like, oh no, what do I do? You have to, hit a tree to stop or something. Hopefully that doesn't happen to anybody. But, some people just don't have the scruples that other people have. But it's everything in the grand scheme of things. Bad things, if you focus on them, outweigh the good things. Good things, if you focus on them, outweigh the bad things. I don't watch, I don't have cable, I don't watch the news, because the news is very depressing. My mom likes soap operas, or she used to when I was younger. I found them very depressing. So we have to kind of know what we like, what we don't like, what we want to focus on. Do you want your life to be better or do you want it to be worse? If you focus on good things, it'll probably be better. But if you focus on bad things, it'll probably be worse. And at some point in your life, you've probably dated a girl who was not fat at all. She was, perfect, I guess, for lack of a better word. But she would always say she was fat. And the reason she would say that is because she always thought that she was fat when she was younger. Whether she was or not, the girl I'm thinking of in my head was never fat. She just thought she was. Because she would compare herself to supermodels in magazines who were already really skinny, plus they were photoshopped. So, it made it really hard for her, because if she wanted to be that weight, she would have to be very unhealthy and risk a lot of diseases. But she was young, I was young. No one really thinks about that stuff. Or most people don't. Some people do, but most people don't. But you tell yourself that all the time. I'm fat. Oh, I'm fat. Then you're just going to believe it, whether it's true or not. And that's what happens a lot of times. You get some people in politics that have a view that just doesn't make rational sense. It's because they've told themselves something enough where their brain believes it. Because our brains aren't going to say, no, you're a liar, it's like this. Your brain's going to believe whatever you tell it to believe. Because your brain wants you to be the happiest, the best that you can be. So your brain isn't there to give you guidelines and give you rules and tell you, you should do this rather than that. Your conscious will, but we're not talking about that aspect of the brain. We're talking about, stuff that you do routinely. So anyway, that's a little bit of a rant. Hopefully that actually made sense to you. You know, it's a subject that goes very, very in depth. I could talk about it for months on end, and it's something I really enjoy talking about. You know, I am really interested in psychology and, you know, mindset, performance, you know, performance psychology, stuff like that. It really, I find it very interesting. You know, other people, like my sister, for example, thinks it's the most boring stuff in the world. We were on a flight one time many years ago, and I had a book. You know, I was reading it, but, you know, I decided I was going to take a nap, so I took a nap. Well, she picks up my book and reads. I don't even think she gets through one page. And then she was asleep. So I woke up, my book's open, she's asleep. And she told everybody, she's like, "Oh, Matt has the best reading material because it will put you to sleep in an instant." And I just thought it was the funniest thing ever, because it's not that, you know, it's what I like isn't necessarily what someone else likes. So the way I react to the markets isn't necessarily the way someone else is going to react to the markets. Though, you know, me missing this trade, I'm like, oh, you know, it is what it is. We'll always get a re-entry. That's how I look at it. Some people look at it and they're like, oh no, my life's going to end. Look at all of this. It made a low of 3, and look, it's all the way up to, you know, 81 quarters. You know, I've missed all of that. You know, even though price has to trade through your order by a tick to fill you in the majority of cases, like 97% of the time, it has to trade through your order. Every now and then you'll get a rush right to your order and you'll just get filled quickly because your order's been there for a long period of time. You know, but that's another topic for another day. You know, but they look at that and, you know, they focus on that, and focusing on the negative begets more negativity. So, you know, they focus on the negative, focus on the negative, focus on the negative. All of a sudden, their P&L is getting destroyed, and they wonder why. And then they go back and look at their trades, and they're like, okay, well, I missed this setup, and this was not even a setup. I don't know why I was trading here, and, you know, all this stuff. So, anyway, I'm going to leave it like that, just because I don't want to record too big of a video, then nobody will watch it, and I'll just get hate mail. Probably not. I probably won't get hate mail, but, you know, no one will watch it. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any comments, feedback, you want to add to the conversation, comment section below. You know, if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. No such thing as a dumb question, only the question not asked. And if you don't ask it, you'll never know. And if you do ask the question, maybe there's 10 more people out there who had the same question, who didn't want to ask, because they didn't want to seem like they didn't know something. You know, and truth be told, you know, when I first got into trading, I know I've discussed it many times, I was horrible. You know, I traded so many times. You know, my broker was so happy. I traded hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times per month. It was ridiculous. You know, it was not a type of trading I should have done, but I definitely learned from it. And I really didn't know anything at all. So, you know, if you have a question, ask. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here in the markets. Thank you.